Mrs. Thomas, Mr. Cavendish will see you now. Would you come this way, please?
Thank you ever so much for agreeing to see me at such short notice.
Well, when the body of an Australian national unexpectedly slumps to the floor of London's most well-to-do hotel, then naturally, it's our job to assist.
I see.
Please accept my condolences. The Consular General's office made me aware of your dilemma. We've sent staff to the mortuary to work out some of the logistics of repatriating Mr. Thomas back to his home country.
As a British woman, I really didn't know who to turn to. It was suggested I approach the embassy.
The mortuary suggested they commence with embalming, which we've confirmed. It comes at a slightly higher cost, I'm afraid.
That's very kind, but I'm not sure I see the point.
Sorry?
Of the embalming.
Oh, well, in practical terms, it forestalls the body decomposing of the long duration of transit, particularly in the summer months.
Right you are.
I understand your husband had a heart attack.
In the foyer of the Savoy.
One would hope there was no pain then.
One would. Possibly a moment of confusion, perhaps.
I'm assuming you'll want the body flown home.
And I can hardly pack him in my onboard carry-on.
Mrs. Thomas, I appreciate this is very distressing for you. To whom shall we make contact within Australia for receipt of Mr. Thomas' remains?
I imagine his wife would be the best place to start. David was a lawyer, Mr. Cavendish. From what I understand, he did remarkably well for himself. I'm sure she'll have no issue mustering up the appropriate funds for freightage. Do you miss your home, Mr. Cavendish?
Only during the winter months. To be honest, I had hoped for a warmer posting, somewhere with a little more open stretch of sky.
Golly, does anyone even enjoy working here?
What do you mean?
I don't think I've clocked one smile since I walked through those front doors.
Post-war London can be slightly miserable to the untrained eye. Can I pour you a whiskey?
I wasn't all that fond of David, if truth be told. We'd met briefly in Singapore before it fell. The word paramour was a misrepresentation at best. I guess we recognized we'd both lost people in the war. You know how one damaged soul can spot another damaged soul at 1,000 paces. This was supposed to be our last hurrah. One last dance, so to speak.
I'm not here to make judgments.
Yes, you are.
That's not the job of a diplomat.
Doesn't mean you're not aching to judge me. And perhaps if I'd hoisted up my skirt, parted my legs, I'd have been easier to place from the get-go.
The circumstances around Mr. Thomas' demise, I'm assuming you prefer I modify it for the sake of his wife.
Now, that would certainly be the kindest thing to embellish at will. It's purely a matter of arrangement.
I'd like perhaps I could interest you in some supper, just so we can get the story straight for his wife.
So you can devour every illicit and torrid detail?
No, I simply wish to.
I shan't reveal a thing. Be sure to let that mask of diplomacy slip every now and then, Mr. Cavendish. Make that judgment you're so desperate to make. I could care less. Only do me one courtesy.
Yes.
Stop tap dancing about the room.
And supper?
You can pick me up at 7. I dare say you're familiar with the location of the hotel.
I am.
Well, that should give you plenty of time to get the story straight with your wife. Good afternoon, Mr. Cavendish.
Nancy.